I say in the film, when I was a kid, at a certain point in my life, my perception of a curb changed, and no longer was it just a divider between the roadway and the walkway, but an opportunity to perform, an opportunity to try, and most importantly, an opportunity to fail. Because skateboarding is not about riding down the street. Skateboarding is about getting up after you fall, because you fall a lot. I was moved by the city. I fell in love with it, and I think at the cornerstone of why I fell in love with the city was that this is a place that's full of art. It speaks with its walls. You know, these walls do speak very loudly. And I thought I just was enamored of a place that dealt with its conflict through art. And then throughout spending so much time here, have learned of a city that deals with so much more through art. And how engaged the arts community is here just feels, it feels like home to me. What brought me over this time was Marcin O'Mueller brought me over for the homecoming event. He invited me over to speak about a project, a current project I'm doing with my wife called the Bucket Board, which is creating skateboards out of upcycled material. The bucket board, the idea is that you take trash, you turn it into a skateboard, and then I was asked by the World Wildlife Fund as one of 15 artists around the world to take an everyday material and give it a new use, which is through my collage art what I do a lot of. But I rephrased the question in my brain and thought about what do I care about and can that be made out of trash? So I contacted Don Sanford from Sanford Shapes, skateboard maker I know, and asked if we could work together on making a skateboard out of trash. And Don came up with the idea of putting a bucket on the bottom, cutting a bucket, splaying it, putting it on the bottom, and there was the bucket board. So now the idea, when we were making this, suddenly we thought like, wow, we need to give these away. I don't know why it hit us like that, but we need to make these things and give them to kids who couldn't have skateboards. So I'm over here hopefully interfacing with finding people that infrastructure exists. There are after-school programs for underserved youth that already exist. I don't want to reinvent that. There are places and ways and means and factories to make things like skateboards with very minimal modification. And there's plenty of building going on, so there's plenty of waste. So I'm over here hopefully finding the parts, the componentry of our agenda, and seeing if we can put those things together. Not even necessarily to be at the helm of it, but to say, if in very much in Marcin fashion, if this entity and this person in this program can find their way together, then maybe this can happen. I don't know that I could speak to Belfast herself, just being one man, and as well being as much of a beneficiary of her grace. You know, I've had a tremendous time in the city. I've done a number of art projects. I've been lucky enough to be invited to do a number of art projects. You know, I just think as Belfast continues its transformation, I think the most important thing is that she stay herself, because there's so much about this city that is fundamentally awesome.